Welcome to r/best of Redditor updates, where OP's boyfriend has a piss jar. Our next Reddit post is from r/relationship advice. My husband and I have been married for 4 years, dated for 7. We have one son who's 2 and I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm 32 and he's 33. I love him deeply. He's a very busy lawyer and often comes home late at night. I never thought he'd cheat on me, but since I began to get bigger, we've been having less passionate hugging. A few months ago, a young woman moved into the condo about 2 doors down. She's a very beautiful girl, but a bit aloof to me. We did invite her over to a dinner party when she first came. A few weeks ago, I noticed that my husband followed her on Instagram and added her on Snapchat. I asked him about it, and he said that she followed him first and he didn't want to be rude. Last week, I started noticing him using his phone more and more and generally being distracted. He said that it was due to work. But 2 days ago, I saw a Snap notification on his phone with our neighbor's name on it. I asked him why he was Snapchatting her, and he said that she was interested in law and was asking him career advice. At 12 a.m., apparently, via Snapchat. Yesterday, I was taking his suits to the dry cleaner and found a receipt for a sushi restaurant from a few nights ago, when he said that he was working late at his office. The sushi restaurant is close to our condo complex and nowhere near his office. There were 2 meals billed on the receipt. I confronted him when he came home from work, and he said he took a client out for dinner. But there were so many nice restaurants near his office. Why the one near our house? I'm almost 90% certain that he's cheating. What should I even do? I'm about to be a mother of 2. I never even prepared for the possibility of this happening in our marriage, and definitely not this soon. Then, 1 week later, OP posted an update. Last Friday after work, he left for a supposed weekend golfing trip with his 2 friends to a place only 1 hour drive away. Before he left, I texted the wife of one of the friends if she wanted to get together for brunch on Sunday. She said that she had plans with her husband. I then texted the wife of his other friend, and surprise, she confirmed that her husband was at home and not going on any trip. I pretended like I didn't know and said goodbye to my husband as usual. However, I asked my retired uncle to follow my husband's car. My husband doesn't know my uncle, so I thought it was a good plan. My uncle followed him to the airport and took a picture of him walking with the neighbor girl. He followed them and said they checked into an airline with flights going to the Caribbean. I thanked my uncle and gave him money for gas and his time, but he refused. I was obviously devastated, and my son and I stayed with him and my aunt for the night. They advised me to find a good divorce lawyer right away. When my husband came home Sunday night, I said that I was filing for divorce. He acted really shocked and hurt and asked me why. I said I knew about his affair and I had proof so he could stop acting stupid. He said I was mistaken. I then asked whether he enjoyed his beach vacation, and the look on his face was just undeniable. I guess he finally realized he was backed into a corner and had no more lies left to tell. I told him I just wanted to know why. He said that he was shy and insecure growing up, and that he had really low self-esteem. He said that he felt validated by the attention of a younger woman, and said that it made him feel wanted. He admitted that it was a crush gone wrong. I said there's no way I can trust him again. He said that's understandable, and that he was sorry that it came to this. He said he probably made a mistake by marrying in his 20s, that some men were ready to settle down at that age, but he realized that he wasn't one of them. He said he still loved me though, but that it was best if we went our separate ways. The worst part of all this is that he's staying at his mistress's condo a few doors down while we get our divorce. It'll be a long few months, but I'm getting a good lawyer and making sure the future of my kids are secure. I also have a good support system around me. I'm planning on moving to another city after the divorce. It'll be a while before I can learn to trust again. I've never hurt so much in my entire life. This level of betrayal from someone you thought was your soulmate is just indescribable. But I'm going to remain hopeful. I wish it turned out differently. Our next Reddit post is from r/relationships. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and we've been living together for the past few months. Now, generally, I've come to accept him for being a guy and not cleaning up after himself. He's gotten a lot better at it though, so I'll give him that. Anyways, this morning I went downstairs as usual to clean up a bit, and when I went to pick up the remote off the floor, I noticed a white McDonald's cup sitting next to the chair. Thinking it was just a leftover drink, I went to go dump it in the sink, only to realize that there was piss in the cup. I'm not sure how long it was sitting behind the chair, but it smelled really bad. It was pretty much full of ashes at the bottom of it. He smokes. I don't really know how to go about talking to him about this or how to even bring it up. Advice, anyone? OP. Generally, I think it's kind of bad to ghost someone in a relationship, but I wouldn't even talk to him about it. I'd be out of there. That is gross. Then the next day, OP posted an update. As soon as he got home from work this morning, I told him that we needed to have a serious conversation. We both sat down, and I told him that I found the cup that he'd been pissing in behind the chair. That it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen, and I was repulsed that he would actually do something like that when we have a perfectly working bathroom upstairs. He started to actually defend himself as to why he was using it. I tried to stay calm, but I couldn't anymore, and eventually it turned into a heated argument. He stated that the cup was easier to use than going upstairs to use our bathroom, which is seriously 30 feet away. And he usually dumps it in the kitchen sink when he's finished. WTF? That right there was a deal breaker for me. This has been going on for quite some time. Upon further inspections, where I originally found the cup, I could clearly see urine stains on the floor. How I didn't know about this sooner, I don't know. But I'm really glad that I do now. I can't continue to live with this sickness anymore. I'll be moving my things out today, and we'll be staying with a friend for the time being. I want to know how OP started that conversation. You're in trouble, mister. So I was scrolling down the comments, and I discovered that there is a subreddit called r/sinkpissers, and I'll let you guess what that subreddit is about. The big question is, why would this need a community? Why would you need to find like-minded individuals so you can discuss pissing in sinks? I went there and the current highest post is, I urinate in the sink and I don't know why. Buddy, I don't know why you do that either. Our next Reddit post is from r/relationships. I moved to the US from India when I was 14. For the most part, people in the US were friendly and welcoming towards me. But I did not have a good time in high school. I was bullied a lot, but most of it was low-level teasing and jokes, except for one guy, Adam. He was the vilest, cruelest, and meanest human being. He bullied me relentlessly. He called me lots of racist names and bullied me physically as well. He egged me while I was walking home, ripped up my turban, I'm Sikh, punched me and threatened to blow up my house because, I'm not sure if I can say this word, RAG heads like me were responsible for 9/11. He made my life hell, and I begged my parents to go back to India solely because I didn't want to face him in school. Anyway, things got much better when I went to college, where I interacted with educated, open-minded people. I worked hard to pursue the American dream, and I now own a successful real estate and construction business. My company is hiring for a variety of construction jobs. I normally don't get too involved with the hiring. My superintendent, Sam, takes care of the actual hiring, and I trust his judgment. So I walked into work this morning and I saw Adam, which I confirmed by accessing his application, along with a bunch of other guys waiting outside Sam's office. I asked Sam about it, and he said that he was interviewing crew members and Adam had applied to do masonry work. I didn't say anything, but I asked Sam to let me know who made the cut before making the offers. Well, I saw Adam's name on the list. Seeing him brought back those long-buried memories of his bullying. I'll be honest, I do not want to hire him, and I have the power to do so. But I'm also conflicted. Why am I still bothered by Adam? Who cares anymore, right? Forgive and forget, right? Then, 3 days later, OP posted an update. After thinking about it over the weekend, I was leaning towards not hiring him. This decision was based on the fact that I have employees belonging to different races and ethnicities. I owe it to my people to provide a comfortable work environment. For example, most of my Masons are Hispanic or Eastern European. Most of these guys don't speak any English. I don't want to force them to work with a guy who's a known racist with a violent past. I did consider that he was a changed man. After all, most of us have grown up and matured since high school. but I just don't have the time to monitor him and make sure he isn't being a bully to his immigrant coworkers. Before I struck his name off the list, I wanted to get Sam's opinion too. I went to work today and talked to Sam. It went like this. Hey, Sam, I need to talk to you about Adam, one of the bricklayers we're planning on hiring. Sam said, oh yeah, I was going to talk to you about him too. He left a voicemail for me refusing to move forward with the hiring process. He didn't want to submit to a drug test when he knew that he was going to fail. Those were his own words. We have a very strict drug policy, and his refusal to be tested has eliminated him from further consideration. So, in a way, Adam made the decision for me. Or, OP, have you considered this? He recognized you and used this as a coward's cop-out because he didn't want to look you in the eye as you fired him. Because, after all, most bullies are cowards. Our next Reddit post is from r/offmychest. My kid's dad died 9 years ago when my daughter was 13. She's now 22. She worships his memory and often treats me very poorly. I know I make a lot of mistakes, but he was an abusive drug addict who put us through hell. I was able to shield her from a lot of it, which I'm so thankful for. But it means that she has very little understanding of all the awful stuff he did. I've never said a bad word about him, and I'm glad that she'll always have a perfect father instead of the deadbeat that she would have eventually realized he was. It still sucks that I have to take the brunt of her anger and trauma because I'm here, an imperfect human, while he gets to forever be faultless. I'll always be there for her. Imperfect, but here still. I love her more than words can express. Some days are just really hard. Then, 6 months later, OP posted an update. Over the next few weeks, my daughter became more and more hostile to me. She would also tell me about extremely concerning decisions she was making and was starting to sound more and more unstable. She lives on her own 30 minutes away near the state university, so it was very difficult for me to give her the little bit of help that she would allow. Long story short, she ended up in an inpatient care where she was diagnosed with mild schizophrenia. She's now medicated and doing so much better, though still struggling in many ways. Turns out, all the hostility towards me was based on delusions she was having about me. Now that she's medicated, we're back to talking nearly every day. I love her so much. I'm scared for what the future will hold for her. This is such a scary diagnosis, and it has not been all smooth sailing. But I'm also just glad to understand what was happening to her and to be able to get her the support and care that she needs. That was r/best of Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.